Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over some of the deck lists from the call in Singapore. For anyone who watches the channel, sorry I've been kind of AFK for over a week. Just really busy with work and kind of took a mental break a little bit. So I apologize for that if anyone's been looking for the videos, but we're back and we're talking about, right back into the videos. Talking about some of the deck lists, and I wanted to go over the 5 lists that got top 8 in the calling Singapore. I think a lot of people kind of started to count Fi out once the combo plan kind of went away. And I think personally, Fi is a little bit less good in this meta in comparison to Briar and Viserai and stuff. But I do think people are doing what I like to call the chain effect. With Fi, and the second he gets a nerf, people are just like, oh, he's bad now, or oh, he's not as good anymore, when that's just really not the case. People just need to learn to change up the meta a little bit and change up how they approach the deck, which is exactly what this individual did. Ivan Tao, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name if you watch this video. Ivan ran this list. Definitely a list I have not seen this style list at all. I have seen elements of this list in other lists, but I've not seen a list like this. This is a Kodachi list, which makes my heart happy. Definitely utilizing Kodachis, and from what I'm seeing with the base of the list, and he's Comber in the Flesh and Blood Discord. If you want to add him and ask him questions, I'm sure he'd be great to hear. He gave it Cyborg Guy in the Fi chat, but I think the overall game plan for this deck, as I look at it, is just play high value attacks that hurt and have as much Fi on hit effects as possible. Right? He has cards in here Engulfing Flame Wave. He has cards in here like Mounting Anger, Soaring Strike, even Rising Resentment. All these cards take the tempo, have a on hit effect. Right, and then he's utilizing even bigger than that in order to give some of these on hit go again. Right, so being able to give Snatch go again unconditionally, take the tempo, possibly go again depending on how your hand's going out, stuff like that. But then using it even bigger than that's in conjunction with Engulfing Flame Wave is really cool, because if you play a Kodachi and then Engulfing Flame Wave before the damage resolution, you then play even bigger than that, and you're able basically to pick when Engulfing Flame Wave is going to banish, which is really, really nice. So some really cool interactions there. Some of the parts of the list I'd really love to hear his thoughts on are, because some of them are really interesting. The one part of the interesting list of this list, and I'm not going to say it's a bad thing because I don't know what his thought process was his blues. He's running not even bigger than that, which kudos to him on running that. He's really going in on that game plan. But I can tell here he's basically just one good 3-block blues, right? Find Center, Fluster Fist, Soul Beast Strike, Winds of Eternity. All 3-block blues. Snatch is the only 2-block blue in the blues list, and I understand he's using even bigger than that on a blue Snatch, right? Or something like that. But one thing I wanted to notice was there are 3-block blues that Fi has access to, very, very minute, like Lava Vein Loyalty. It's a 2-power, 3-block blue that can get go again. Why not use that instead of Fluster Fist or instead of Winds of Eternity? That's really the only question I would have for him, because I'm sure him or her, whatever they identify as, has a reasoning. But that would be something I'd like to see. He has other just high quality. They have other just high quality attacks. Blaze Headlong, Brand with Cinder Claw, really good for giving Kodachi's Draconic, or giving a card like Enlightened Striker Draconic, or making Snatch Draconic or something like that. Really nice. Running Razors in the deck. I have experimented with running Razors in my deck. Some people have seen my prior list. I think Razors is really good in Fi. I think it allows you to play other attacks you normally wouldn't play, like E-Strike, like Snatch, and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, just really simply, the list is just play high-powered attacks that hurt, and try to, institute a little bit more on hits, but even bigger than that. So, make Fi, because one of Fi's weaknesses, quote, in comparison to Katsu, is every attack that Katsu hits you with means something, because you can combo off of it, right? You can do combo. Whereas with Fi, some of it didn't quite mean a lot, except for just straight up, mass draw or links draw or just damage, because he doesn't have as much on hits. So he or she is trying to make this more on hit focused. Running sync belows for like I'm assuming like Bravo and Oldheim and Reinar and stuff like that. Maybe we saw a Dory. That all you got for the Rune Blade matchup. Probably was expecting to see a lot of Briar and Viserai. And running. Let's see what else they could be having. Command and Conquerors, Illusionist and Lexi, and maybe even some of the Agramirs. Definitely some really good. And then Thaw, I'm assuming, is for Icelander and Oldheim. But yeah, definitely an interesting list. It worked. Got top 8. Played really well. I'm pretty sure they said that their draft record was 4-2. So that means they only could have lost one max going in the top 8. So their CC record had to be 5-1 minimum. So definitely really good there. So definitely check out this list. I think it's worth trying and having fun with. I just love seeing a Kodachi list do well, just straight up. Then we had another list I wanted to go over here. Alan Lyle's list. He got top 4. He didn't make the final. But I really liked the way he approached his play. Not to say that the Briar that beat him, that got to the finals, we'll talk about the differences here in a second. But overall, I think I really like the way that he played his list and the pacing that he had. This is a pretty standard Briar list, nothing crazy. No Rebel and Rune Blood, I think, is one thing to note that's really big here. The blue captain's calls, I think, are pretty common, but not super common. Not everyone runs them. I think that was a good call, though. He utilized these very well. And then 3 yellow evergreens. Really, playing into, you can tell with his list, he's really trying to keep Channel around a long time. I mean, he potentially has 3, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16 Earth pitch cards that he can pitch to keep Channel around. So he played it really well. Nothing crazy in this list. The 2 Arcanic Shockwave I like a lot. Possibly could be a 0 for 5, basically, with the 1 Arcane. So I really like that. But overall, I just really like the pacing. If you go back and watch the stream, the pacing of how he played his list, I really enjoyed it. And I thought he did really well. And then you have second, which is John. So here's the Briar that got second. Very similar list. Probably almost pretty much the exact same for the most part. For the most part, he has sync belows, whereas he did not. So Alan, who got top 4, had sync belows in his deck, whereas this individual did not. Running Sworn Gloomveil, the 3 yellow evergreens. Again, I guess maybe they were testing partners, because I don't see that 3 yellow evergreen in there a ton, which maybe they're the same, come from the same background. It's pretty much the same list. With the exception of one change. He's running 2 Entwined Lightning, whereas he's running 3. He's running 2 Sync Blows, whereas he's running none. So very little minute differences. Nothing crazy there. Then we have the 1 Viserai that made top 8. I looked at this list. Nothing crazy. Very, very standard list. Running 3 Rune Blood Incantations and 2 Ninth Blades. You don't see 3 of Rune Blood Incantations a lot right now. I've been at least seeing 1 or 2 most of the time, and they're sideboarded. 2 Rattle Bones make sense. Only 2 Amplifies. All these are pretty standard as far as what he has. The 2 Ninth Blades is very interesting. You don't see this card as much as you used to. So overall, really good list. And then finally, we can't not highlight the winner of the event, the Dash. Dash played amazing. It was a Talishar Dash list. That is insane. Obviously, they have Pistol on the side for some specific matchups, but really cool, fun list. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, except for maybe Maximum Velocity, obviously, kind of like the funny card there, and kind of the hero of the deck. But overall, really fun list. Dash has legs. Definitely can hang with the aggro players. Definitely can do well against some of the other parts of the meta. And is very flexible in how she plays. You can kind of go back and forth between the pistol mentality and kind of the boost mentality. It really just depends on what you want to do. But yeah, really cool. I'm not a Dash connoisseur, so I'm not going to sit here and pick the deck apart and say from what I watched him play. Really utilizing Combustible Courier to its effect. Trying to get Teklos out on just like anything else. using all the Teklo pounders, just really good high value and just, beating down your opponent as much as possible. It's going to be interesting to see how Dash does in the future and where it goes. But overall, the file list is really interesting. The Dash list is really cool. There were 4 Briars in top 8, right? Like 4 Briars, a Dash, a Fi, an Icelander, which was really cool, and then Viserai. So, decent representation. No Prism in the top 8. I want Prism to be gone like anyone else that's not a Prism player. But it is going to be interesting to see if she can actually get over the hump anytime soon, because there's so many good aggro decks out there right now. It's going to be hard for Prisms to like whittle their way through very effectively. So, excuse me. Let's see. I'm interested to see how Nat shakes out and how the Pro Tour Lille shakes out, and how maybe that this affects it. We'll have to see. But overall, really, really cool list. Really, really good event. Really enjoyed watching it. Watching DM Armada and Flake also cast late at night was really fun. Trying to stay up for that. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back on videos. Just kind of took a week break. Just kind of calm down. But I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And I'll talk to y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.